Hello.
Hello.
Day 22, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah. I've had no pains at all today,
neither have I.
so it's been good.
Well, actually, no, I have. But that was from something else.
Yeah, you did boot camp yesterday and you saw.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, so we have no real updates. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about 2016, when we started trying in November 2016 through to, well, 2017. I'll take you through that bit. So it all started trying November 2016, and then after about 3 or 4 months my periods became really irregular, whereas I was normally every 30 days. I'd suddenly be 27 or 28. The longest I went was 35, which was around July time in 2017, and that was really hard because obviously I got my hopes up. And yeah, the tests I did were negative, obviously, but I was thinking, oh, maybe there's just not enough levels, and because the pregnancy test for HCG hormone. So yeah. So anyway, throughout that time I went to the doctor when my periods became irregular, and they did blood tests, and I think I had about 3 blood tests where they're looking for my progesterone levels, I believe, which were not good 1 month. Then
They were low,
fine.
weren't they?
Yeah, they were low 1 month, then they were good the next month, and then the month after that they were low again. So it was the doctors reached a conclusion that I was only ovulating every other month. So I then had an internal scan done where they were looking for PCOS and endometriosis and all those things, and they didn't find anything on that. So it was just left that I was ovulating every other month. So yeah, that's where they left us.
And they did find out in the meantime that after that, your testosterone levels.
Yeah, so from those tests they did a few more blood tests and found that my testosterone levels were slightly raised. And I had to have a few more blood tests with that.
And this was a year's worth, wasn't it? It was a year.
Yeah, a year
test
of
just on you.
Blood tests and
Just on you to find out what's the issue. In the end, there wasn't really an issue, was there?
No.
You did a few. We did a few. They gave you some medication from time to time.
Yeah. So in September time of 2017, they sent us to a gynaecologist in Chelmsford, and he said, well, I can't see any problems with you, as in Richard, who had no tests done.
Yeah.
And he said, oh no, you're young, you're healthy, blah blah blah, you're all fine.
He was nice because he was the first person to actually acknowledge we had something wrong somewhere, so gave you a medication.
He gave me Clomid, and he said, hopefully this will kickstart things for you. So I had to take Clomid from day 2 to day 6, I think it was. And again, we had no success with that. So I did that for, I think he gave us 3 months worth.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, you can just go back to your doctor and get another prescription. So we went back to the doctor to get a prescription of it, and our doctor said, no, we can't give out prescriptions for it. He gave you wrong advice. At this point, our doctor then sent you for some tests.
So we'd been trying for a year, and we told the doctors that usually we've been told along the route, man's always first checked.
Yeah.
Because if there's nothing there, the woman is like, there's no point testing the woman yet. But it's been a year of testing just you, because we haven't gone down the route of fertility. We've gone down the route of a regular period.
Yeah.
So it's not like, I suppose it's a bit of not knowing what to do. But then we were telling them in the meantime that we are still trying, something's going wrong. Then they sent me on the first test, which came back quite negative, quite poor. But then they told me try all these different things, it might help. And then I had one just over a month later, didn't I?
Yeah.
And it came back, like, I think that it was like around, the first count was just around 1 million, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then the second count over a month later was around 7 million.
Yeah.
So, and it does say online, and the doctor said it takes 3 months for the sperm to regenerate. I can't remember how many. It's around 90 days, so 90 full days to for like a brand new sperm to be fully developed.
Yeah.
So, and that was just a month. And then since the first month, like after that first month, I haven't had another test because everyone's okay with that amount.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'd rather have another test and know what I'm at. But
It's too late now.
they haven't given us a chance. But
yeah. So anyway, and then after that, so we'll take you through everything really. No point. Just doing a little bit. So we're now up to about November 2017. So at this point, the doctor then refers us. We decide to go privately to see a fertility consultant.
Because we knew with the NHS it was going to take a long time, so we thought start privately just to see what we could do to start with before IVF, because we knew IVF was going to cost a fortune. Well, the track we were going down was only going to cost, I think, ended up being about £800 in total.
Yeah.
So compared to IVF, it's just a fraction.
Yeah. So we saw the consultant at the Wellesley in Southend. And again, that was all heavily focused on me. I had to have another internal ultrasound. I had to have a test where they put fluid through my fallopian tubes to see if they're all clear. So I had to have that done. He again put me on a higher dose of Clomid. And I also had to have the injection that I did on the Wednesday evening, the Ovitrel. So we had to do
always
that.
gave for you. So we got used to using that one.
Yeah. So I did that, and that month didn't work. So the next month he put me on letrozole, which again, that didn't work. And then he gave me another dose of it, and that didn't work. At which point he suggested we go down IVF, and we said we wanted to wait.
Well, in the meantime, I'd gone to the doctors, and they sent me to the hospital to get an ultrasound done to see if my tubes were blocked.
Yeah.
And that was interesting. It's a bit like where like your gynecology appointment.
Yeah.
Say your legs are up in the air, and he got his gel on his.
Yeah.
Having a nice chat with you. Move your legs a bit wider.
Yeah, it's alright, I've been there. I know that. Yeah, so then we said we wanted to wait a bit. And he said it's going to take so long to get through, you're best off starting the process now. Which we felt a bit pressurised into.
We wanted that break to calm down a bit from all these other tests, because it'd been so...
Takes over your life.
Yeah. And we first year I was doing a marathon. Second year you decided to do a marathon because if you fell you would pull out, but we didn't. So we were doing it together anyway. And having all this as well, it was just a lot on our plate, and just beat us down quite a lot at that point. So that's why we said to him, like, we want to have a bit of a break. But it was probably the best choice to go with what he said, because...
Yeah, I'm pleased we did, because it has taken us a year.
Yeah.
From the appointments with him to where we are now. And
they are cutting back on IVF treatments on the NHS, aren't they?
They are.
It's a very small area of Essex. We were in
catchment.
Yeah, we were in the bracket, so we were lucky enough to get it.
Yeah.
And to get two cycles of IVF as well. on the NHS.
Yeah, so that's good. But yeah, so once he referred us for IVF, he also sent me off to have the testosterone seriously looked into, which I had to do another blood test for. And yeah, when I saw the consultant regarding that, he said my levels are nothing to be hugely concerned about. He said yes, they are slightly more raised than average, but he said it's nothing that, for me, deems anything serious.
Because it'd been a while, they asked me to go for a blood test, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they didn't tell me any of the results.
Yeah.
I don't know any of that.
Yeah, so then after that we then had to go and see the consultant that we'd seen privately. We had to see him at Basildon on the NHS for him to do the referral properly. And
we got weighed, BMI done.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, we spent about 45 minutes there answering questions.
Yeah.
Urine sample.
Yeah.
Surprise urine sample. We weren't
we weren't expecting that. I'll tell you what did happen though. With the blood tests, they test your levels of the follicle stimulant hormone, FSH. And so I had the blood test done. And then about a couple of months later, I got a letter through saying that they won't refer us for IVF because my levels were at 9.4, and for IVF they want it less than 9. So basically 0 to 6 is excellent quality eggs, 6 to 8 is good quality, 8 to 10 is fair, and then anything over 10 is poor quality eggs. So mine were in the fair category, just 0.4 over what they wanted. So they asked me to go for another blood test, which I did, and again I wasn't given the results of that, and personally for me I didn't want to chase up because I didn't want to be told no, your levels weren't good again, we're not going to refer you. So I just kind of put my head in a hole and just continued on as normal.
Yeah, because we had then a long wait, didn't we? We didn't hear anything for a long time.
No.
And we just kind of thought, well, we'll wait for the day we hear anything.
Yeah. And then I think it was October, November time.
Pretty much, yeah.
We got a letter through saying that we can go for IVF at
I don't remember it, but...
Yeah, London Women's Clinic Brentwood also called me to book me in.
Well, they gave us a choice, didn't they?
Yeah, so when we got referred from our private consultant that we saw, he gave us a piece of paper with about 5 or 6 different clinics on it, and we got to pick the one that we wanted to go to, and we plumped for London Women's Clinic because that was in Brentwood, so a bit nearer for us.
They had the Wickford one, a new one opened up in Wickford, but I thought, because I don't think the Wickford one doesn't link with Harley Street.
Yeah.
And because reputation of Harley Street, I thought it must be good if they're in Harley Street.
Yeah, so we quite like the idea of the fact that it's kind of like a big
it wouldn't be in Harley Street unless it was good enough.
Yeah.
Is what I had in my head. So Brentwood's
like
an hour away, so
yeah, it
was within driving distance. And yeah, it's been quite difficult driving backward and forward. It's quite tiring, and then getting the train. But it's all
hopefully going to be worth it.
Yeah, and it's minor compared to some people don't get this choice.
Exactly.
So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying how we're feeling about it.
Yeah. So yeah, and then we had an appointment in December, where we told them. And we explained that we were going on holiday. We actually went to Australia in January for 3 weeks. And they said to us, right, we won't do anything until when you get back. They booked us in to see the nurse to just run through our, how to do injections and things just before we went away. But they said, relax, enjoy your holiday, hopefully you won't need us when you get back. But obviously we did. Unfortunately my period for February came in at the very end of our holiday, so we missed that cycle, so that's why we've had to do it for March.
But that was good, I felt, because then we could
give us a bit more time,
give us a chance to get back, relax from the holiday, unpack, get used to jet lag,
Yeah.
Because imagine trying to do all this with jet lag.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fun.
I'm shattered quite a bit now.
Yeah. Yeah.
If everything does work out right, it should be around Christmas.
Yeah, so if I was to be expecting now, it would be a December baby, hopefully. But we will wait and see. So yeah, that's the journey that we've been on so far. But yeah, I've had multiple blood tests and internal scans and yeah. For the IVF, they also want copies of your smear test.
And copies of your sperm test.
Yeah.
Which were already at this point a year old.
Yeah.
Over a year old.
Yeah.
But they were happy with the second one, so they said as long as it's over 6 million, they were happy to go with it. If it was under, they'd ask me to go for another one, but yeah, whatever. I went with it because they said yes. I don't fully know everything, so this is what we're all learning out here.
Yeah.
Europe.
But they also said to us that because Richard's test had 0% motility, and I said to them,
deformities.
Yeah, they were 100% deformed.
Thanks.
That's alright. So
unique.
Yeah, 2 heads, 2 tails, that sort of thing. And I said to them, would this work for us, IVF, because of what the tests have said? And they said that the test only looks at a certain percentage.
A very small amount.
Yeah, and they said that
they look at all of them, don't they?
Yeah, they look at the whole sperm as it is, and they said there normally are lots of normal ones that they just don't pick up in these tests.
They're only looking for in the small section they're actually looking at, so
yeah,
it's that was horrible getting told that there wasn't a lot there, and then but
I think that's why a lot of men don't talk about it as well, because it's such a thing to be told that you're not performing as you should. I think it's hard for a man to take. I know, but I think there's a lot of men out there that would find that news really hard to take. And I mean, it's hard enough as a woman because you do feel like a failure. You feel like, as a woman you should be able to do what nature expects of you, and when you can't, it's a bit upsetting.
And we don't really know. We hadn't at the time known anyone do any of this. Have to go through any issues with. I mean, pregnancy.
I knew with family members, but
not in.
I wouldn't go and talk to them. In a way, I felt for me, this isn't being something that I want to sit down and talk with a family member over. I found it easier to talk to people outside of friends and family to talk to, which is a bit odd. But yeah, I don't know why that is really, but that's just how I've felt with it. I find it much easier to talk to someone who's a bit separated from me.
Okay.
But that's just me. What about you?
Well, I don't know. I don't talk a lot anyway.
No.
This is probably the most I talk in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't bother me too much. I don't know. I like when people have said, "Oh, have you got a wife or girlfriend?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Oh, have you got kids?" That my answer would just be no, and then that'll be it. Because I'm in my head thinking, is this person going to be fine? Because the sort of some people that I not hang around with, but have to deal with, I'm not always sure if they're going to be how they're going to act with it. So sometimes I'm just like, no, we haven't had kids, we're trying.
Yeah.
And that's not a lie, we are.
Yeah.
But I've been more happy more recently because we're doing this. There's no point in not saying.
Yeah. I've found that doing these videos has really helped me.
Yeah.
I feel like I've coped with it a lot better. I must admit, it's shocking the amount of people who do ask you when you're due and things that don't know you And in the whole 2 years we've been trying, I've had quite a few people at work ask me when I'm due or whether I know what I'm expecting. And I got quite sick of that.
No. It's annoying because you kind of don't, they're going to feel ashamed for asking.
Yeah.
But you kind of want them to understand that's not a good question to ask someone.
Exactly. I did make one person feel really bad for asking it. Because she said, when are you due? And I just looked at her really blank and said, I don't understand. And she went, when? So, when is it due? And I said, sorry, I don't understand what you're asking. And she said, when's your baby due? To which I went, I'm not pregnant. I'm just fat. And at that point, she was like, there were actually quite a few people I did that with, which is quite entertaining to see their face, but they need to realise you should not ask anyone that question. And I think it didn't help as well, because obviously with us getting married, then people seem to think even more, they're going to have a baby. And
it must be annoying for people who don't want a baby after getting married, because they're going to when are you going to have kids? We're not, and then then the conversation stops there for them.
Yeah, it must be infuriating.
People, it just seems, I don't know. I can't tell if it's a generational thing or what.
I don't know. I think people think that they're being nice and trying to be involved, but when you don't really know that person and what they're going through, it's ridiculous. I mean, I must admit I've been really surprised because I got quite bloated on some of the medication, as I said. I'm surprised that I haven't had more people asking me this month, when are you due? To be honest, I'd have probably got a punch in the face.
But I've only once I went out for a friend's birthday. I was asked if we're going to start a family, and I said I can't remember, something like we're trying, and they were like, what do you mean you're trying? I was like, well, we've been trying for 2 years, and when it works, it works, and when it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and that took them back. They were kind of like, because they didn't expect me to be like, say it's not working at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it for some reason it makes. Why does it make us feel awkward?
That's the thing. Yeah, it does make us feel awkward, and you can tell as well. I mean, like at birthday parties and things I've been to, I get myself so worked up and so anxious about just going to an event, whether it's with family, friends, or whatever. I get myself into such a state because I'm just stressing that someone's going to ask about kids. And, you reach a point where you shouldn't have to, A, justify why you haven't got kids, or B, have to explain every time to someone what you're going through. And, it's been...
I suppose with kids' birthday parties, it's the middle, like the main subject is there's a kid. Yeah. Are you going to have kids? They can all grow up together.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I suppose if you're out on a night out, it's not going to be about, kids. It's going to be drink or work or something else.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to parties where I can just... I'm sure people aren't, but to me, everyone's looking like... is she drinking? Is she drinking the alcohol yet? I wonder if she's pregnant. You don't drink really anyway. So. And I don't drink much anyway. And I have, in some social situations, just got absolutely off my face because I decided, you know what, I'll prove to them that I'm not pregnant, that I haven't got the baby I want yet. Just give me a load of wine, that will shut them up. And, while I haven't really wanted to drink, I've just ended up getting drunk because, that was my way of being able to relax at that party and, shut those people up that are wanting to ask that question.
That could be more in your head as well.
But I think that is very much in my head, that I think everyone's going to be thinking, I wonder if she's pregnant yet. And, that's the thing, it's such a horrible mental thing to go through.
And everyone's talking about you.
yeah, that's the other thing as well, because you feel like, you know, when you are having conversations with people, you're waiting for them to be like, oh, so what's happening with you? And, you know, there are times where I do want to talk about it, there are times where I don't. And, you know, what I would encourage everyone to do is, if you do know people going through it, you know, it really doesn't hurt to bring it up, because if they don't want to talk about it, we'll just say, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, but more than likely they're going to want to talk about it, so don't just ask if they're expecting, say, like, ask some other questions about, like, would you want to start a family?
Yeah.
Not, are you starting, would you want to start one, and how's that going, or something. And if they're going to say, it's going alright, but can we not talk about it, just leave it, that's fine.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it's fine,
just don't get worried about...
We want to talk about it, and that's the problem. No one's talking about it to us, so we make it up all in our heads.
Yeah.
All these scenarios of people talking about us when they're not.
Yeah.
I don't too much, it's more you.
Yeah, I think it's much harder for a woman.
I fill my head up with more other stuff, and then I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Like doing these videos, I'm up till... Since, like, you go to bed and fall asleep.
I go to bed at like 9 and fall asleep, and then he's down here till stupid o'clock.
So then it fills up my time, and then when I'm working, I'm listening to podcasts, so I'm not thinking about it.
Yeah.
But I found they help with learning, but it's different subjects.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think there are much more people that would like to talk about it, but because it's always been a subject that people find awkward, they don't discuss it.
No, we both have been to therapy, haven't we?
Yeah.
During this process, hypnotherapy.
Yeah, which I found has helped me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did an additional thing about public speaking, because I wouldn't really do much of public speaking, but I guess this is public speaking.
Yeah.
And when Charlotte recommended we do this, I was like, I'd like to be behind the camera, I don't want to be in front of the camera. I'd rather do a podcast where they can't see my face.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bother me now. But the problem is, it's switched. You don't like your voice, or watching, because we're watching this on the laptop here.
I hate it.
And I have to go back through and watch all. We're at 27 minutes, and I'm gonna have to go back and watch all this. But I've had to do it for every video we've done. Cut out all the bits where we're bickering, or they're boring. Or Charlotte's just being annoying.
Which is regularly.
I've got a folder of like bloopers where it's just, there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
I can't remember why I started saying that now. I thought it'd be a bit of an insight.
Yeah, I think it's been good for the people around us and for us to do these videos. It's been a good bit of in-depth
and if you've made it this far into the video, then
well done.
Yeah, I think you deserve a drink.
Yeah, so as it's a half-hour one, we'll leave it there.
Or you could go into the longer videos I've got on my own channel, but...
Oh yeah, do you want to plug your channel?
Yeah, they're more holiday videos, but yeah.
Go on, plug your channel.
I can't remember what it's called. But I do, been doing videos every day on that from our Australia holiday.
Yeah. Well, in the next video we'll give you his little link. And so anyway, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're alright? You're gonna go to sleep before you edit this?
What? No, I was just thinking. And then, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.